Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Nathan and I am a landscape photographer from Brisbane in Australia. Today I am coming to you from the beautiful Diagala National Park. I'm walking along a track today called the Morelia track, which is a short one, 6 kilometers return, and it should, as far as I can tell, take me to the Mt Nebo lookout. So I'm here for two reasons today. One is I just managed to get a bit of time on my own today, which doesn't happen all that often at the moment. And the other is it's kind of like a bit of a scouting mission. Well, I guess there's three reasons. So to tie in with the first one of getting some time to myself, I'm gonna try and do a specific type of photo today. Not something I've tried before and something that's a little bit different. So I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but it should be pretty cool if it works. And with regards to the scouting mission, I think that the lookout at the end should be quite eastward facing. So I just want to check if there's going to be a nice composition if I made the effort for a sunrise hike. So I'm just walking through the forest now and I'll talk to you soon. So I made it up to the top of the lookout here at Mt Nebo, and it's a nice lookout, but I'm not sure how good the composition is. That's okay, I'm still going to give it a try. The biggest problem I have today is the clouds. Now I know that normally if you're shooting in the middle of the day like I am, clouds are probably a good thing, but that special thing I was going to try actually is much better with a lot of bright sunlight. I'm going to try and shoot some infrared film, and then I'm going to try a technique to stack together 3 black and white infrared scans to make a color photo. They call it trichromatic photography, and it's actually in a different manner. It's how the first color photos were ever done, but usually with regular black and white, not infrared. So I'm using the Rolly 400 ISO infrared film, and you need 3 filters. So generally, if you're doing it the normal way, you use a red filter, a green filter, and a blue filter. But today I'll be using a blue filter, a green filter, and instead of a red filter, I'll be using an R72 infrared filter, which basically blocks out light that's below that 720 nanometer infrared sort of wavelength. So hopefully, if it works, if I get enough sun and it works, I should get a pretty cool photo. It's essentially going to try and replicate in a way Kodak Aerochrome film. So we'll see how we go. I'll set up the tripod now and get the camera out and just see if I can find a composition, and then just wait for a bit of sun. There's a bit of blue sky around, it's just the sun is currently behind some clouds. So if the sun comes out, we'll be good, because you just need as much direct sun as you can for as much infrared light to hit the ground as possible. So let's just see how we go. I'll probably do it anyway, even if I don't get that ideal sunlight, because, well, I'm up here and I may as well do it. So this is the view that I've got that I'm trying to shoot today. That mountain out there in the distance is Mount Tempest, I think it's called. So I found the composition that I'm going to run with. It's not that exciting, I know, but there's not a lot of compositional options up here. Now I've done some test metering with my light meter and the filters, because I need to use those 3 filters, the green, the blue and the infrared, just to figure out what sort of exposure compensation I need to do. So the blue filter is 1 stop, The green filter is 2 stops. And then the infrared I'm gonna do 2 shots with, one at 4 stops and one at 5 stops, because they are really quite dark. Now I'm just waiting for that light. It's coming and going. I just need to be able to get basically the same shot 3 times. So what I might do now is I might put I'm gonna start with the blue. I'm gonna go blue, green, infrared, because there's no real reason. It's just that way I figure they'll be in alphabetical order, so I'll know which one is which when it comes to the stacking process after scanning. So green, blue, infrared, and then the 2 infrareds will look the same, except one will be a bit more exposed. So I'll pop the blue filter on now, so that when that cloud moves away, because it has, and it's come back, and it has, and it's come back. So when it's gone again, I'll be able to quickly make it happen and get these 4 exposures. So I'm ready to go. Blue filter is on, cable release is in, I've cocked the shutter, I'm wound onto frame 1. I've even set a base exposure here of 1/8 of a second. I will adjust that though. I've got the meter ready to go so that when that sun comes out a bit brighter, I'll probably have to adjust that to 1/15 of a second. So I got 1/15 of a second without the filter through my meter and just went to 1/8 of a second for that extra stop of compensation. And now that I'm ready to go, just gotta wait. So the sun is about to come. I'm just gonna keep a real close eye here. Okay, so the sun seems to have moved from behind the clouds. I'm just waiting for the greenery over on the mountain over there to get a bit of that more direct light on it. And then I'm gonna take my photo. Okay, so I think I've got about as much light as I'm gonna get. So I better start shooting now. Just gonna meter for the green patch on the mountain over there. So f45, 1/15. So with that 1 stop of exposure compensation, that is 1/8 of a second, which I've got. So let's take that now, 1/8 of a second. Now go 1/4 of a second for the next one. Wind on, take this filter off. Problem is I've got to do this all as quickly as I can. Okay, so green filter is going to go on. Shutter cocked. Green filter off. Now the important one, the infrared filter. So that's 4 stops for the first one. So let's go to 1 second. Wind on to frame number 3. Cock shutter. And we'll do a 2 second. Cock shutter. There we go, 4 frames shot, a roll of film done like that. And that is my trichromatic infrared photo done. So now I might just pack up, chill out here for a bit and have some water. I might make my way back through the forest. I've got another roll of regular black and white film, so I might take a photo or 2 if I see something I like and just make my way back to the car. I'll talk to you soon. Well, I made it back to the car, and just for something different, I decided to essentially trail run the whole way back. Not something I usually do. I have been working on fitness a bit lately, but I don't usually run in the bush, especially not with 7 or 8 kilos on my back. But it helped me get back to the car in maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. I didn't stop for any photos. I did have a look for a couple of compositions on the way back, even though I was jogging, and there was just nothing that really would suit the panoramic camera, especially with black and white at the moment. The light was just a bit too harsh. So now I'm just gonna head home. I'm gonna get this film processed and scanned, and we'll have a look at that trichromatic process. I'll talk to you soon. So some time has passed, and I've had the film both developed and scanned with some interesting results. Individually, as black and white photos, they all look really quite good. You've got distinct differences with the blue filter, the green filter, and the infrared filter, with the shadows on the blue filter being a bit underexposed. But all in all 3 were quite good. The infrared filtered image is the most striking on its own, obviously. Get really good detail in the clouds, and it's just more interesting contrast as well. Here are the 3 individual photos, with the first being the blue filter. So you can see how the sky looks very light in this one. Then we've got the green filter here, where all of the sort of greeny, yellowy foliage is quite light. And then here in the infrared filtered image, you've got a lot more darkness in your skies and just a lot of contrast. 3 very different images, which all look fairly good on their own. And now the interesting part of this process is how they all look after combining them together in Photoshop to get a color image. Now it's not perfect, and I didn't expect it to be because it was a windy day, and the problem with this process is you need everything to be perfectly still to get a perfect result. Otherwise you do get color separation anywhere where there's been a bit of movement in any of the subject matter. So there is a little bit of that happening, but all in all, for a first attempt, I'm really quite happy with how it turned out. I'm going to need to practice a bit more, and it's going to need some fine tuning. As a first experiment to test it out, I think I'd say it's a success. I'll just make sure that next time I try it, it'll be on a more still day with lots of sunlight around. Keep practicing, and then I'll get to a point where I'm really happy with my images. But here is the final image. 1 whole roll of film for 1 photograph. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. It was really nice for me to be able to get out and do a bit of hiking again. It had been a little while since I'd been hiking. So if you got anything out of this video, if you have any questions or any feedback, please be sure to let me know below. I really love hearing your feedback and questions. I would appreciate it if you did enjoy the video, if you could give it a thumbs up and even consider subscribing to my channel. And thanks so much again for watching. I can't wait to see you again soon.